My best friend got my mom pregnant, shattered our family, and disappeared. I'm a 27M, and my best friend, Tyler, who's also 27, has been like a brother to me for over a decade. We've been through everything together: school, relationships, breakups, you name it. But now, he's done something that I can't even begin to comprehend, and it's tearing my family apart. To give you some background, my mom, Elise, is 45. She had me when she was young, just 18, so we've always had a pretty close relationship, almost like friends at times. My parents, Elise and my dad, Mark, have been happily married for 28 years. They've always been the definition of a solid couple, at least, that's what I thought until now. Tyler has always been close to my family. My parents treated him like a second son, and he spent a ton of time at our house over the years. He's been on family vacations with us, celebrated holidays, he's practically a member of the family. My mom and Tyler always got along great, which I thought was awesome, until now. A few weeks ago, I started noticing that something was off. Tyler was acting weird, distant, nervous, avoiding eye contact. My mom was also acting strange, but I chalked it up to stress or something. I never imagined that the two of them were hiding something this huge. Last night, my entire world came crashing down. Tyler came over, looking like he was on the verge of a breakdown. He said he needed to talk to me about something serious, so we went out to grab a drink. I could tell he was struggling to find the words, but when he finally blurted it out, I was sure I'd misheard him. "I got your mom pregnant," he said, his voice flat and emotionless. I felt like the ground had just been ripped out from under me. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. This was my best friend, the guy who's been by my side through everything, and now he's telling me that he got my mother pregnant? I didn't know whether to punch him or throw up. Tyler went on to tell me that they'd been secretly sleeping together for the past 6 months. It started as a casual fling, something that was never supposed to be serious. He said it was just for fun, that they both knew it was wrong, but they kept doing it anyway. He insisted that he wasn't in love with her, that it wasn't supposed to mean anything. But now, my mom was pregnant. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. This wasn't just some random girl, this was my mom. How could he be so callous, so reckless? I asked him if he even cared about what he'd done, and he just shrugged, saying that he never thought it would go this far, that he never wanted it to become a thing. That was it. I snapped. I got up and punched him right in the face. He tried to defend himself, but I wasn't having it. We ended up in a full-on fight right there, and it took everything in me not to do more damage than I did. He kept saying he was sorry, that he never wanted it to happen this way, but his apologies meant nothing to me. This was my best friend, the guy I trusted more than anyone, and he betrayed me in the worst possible way. Eventually, I stormed out of there, leaving him behind, bleeding and stunned. I drove around for hours, trying to make sense of it all. I felt sick, betrayed, disgusted. I thought about going straight to my parents' house and confronting my mom, but I didn't even know where to start. How do you even begin to process something like this? This morning, I went to my parents' house. My dad was at work, so it was just me and my mom. I confronted her about everything. She didn't even try to deny it. She broke down in tears and admitted it was true. She and Tyler had been sleeping together, and she was pregnant with his child. But what really destroyed me was when she said that she wanted to be with Tyler, that she's been in love with him for a long time. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. My mom was telling me that she's in love with my best friend, but he doesn't feel the same way. He told me it was just for fun, that he never had any intention of being with her. She kept saying she was sorry, that she never meant for this to happen, but that she couldn't help how she felt. I asked her about my dad, about their marriage. She said she still loved my dad, but her feelings for Tyler had taken her by surprise, and she didn't know how to stop it. She told me that she was planning to tell my dad, but she didn't know how. She begged me not to say anything to him, to give her time to figure things out, but I don't know if I can do that. My dad deserves to know the truth. I'm completely lost. I feel like I'm living in a nightmare. My best friend got my mom pregnant, and now my entire family is falling apart. I don't know how to move forward from this, or if there's any way to fix it. I'm angry, hurt, and confused, and I don't know who to turn to. What do I do? Do I tell my dad? Do I cut Tyler out of my life completely? How do I deal with the fact that my mom is leaving my dad for my best friend, who doesn't even love her? I need advice, Reddit, anything to help me figure out what to do next. Update 1. Hey, I'm back with an update. First off, I want to thank everyone who reached out with advice, support, and even tough love. I needed to hear all of it, and it's helped me to clear my head a bit, though the situation is still a mess. After reading through your comments and taking some time to think, I decided that I couldn't keep this secret from my dad any longer. As much as I hated the idea of hurting him, I knew that keeping this from him would only make things worse. He deserves to know the truth, no matter how painful it is. So, a few days ago, I asked my dad if we could grab a drink after work. I wanted to do it somewhere private but not at the house. We went to a quiet bar, and I could feel my heart pounding the whole time. I didn't know how to start, but I knew I had to just come out with it. I told him everything, about Tyler, about the affair, about the baby, and about my mom saying she wants to be with him. Watching the color drain from his face was one of the hardest things I've ever experienced. My dad is a strong guy, but in that moment, he looked completely broken. He didn't say much, just sat there, staring into his drink. After what felt like an eternity, he finally spoke. He asked me how long it had been going on, if my mom had said anything to me about what she planned to do. I told him that she'd admitted everything to me and that she was planning to tell him, but she didn't know how. He thanked me for telling him, but I could see how much it hurt him. We finished our drinks in silence, and then he just got up and left. I followed him out, but he told me he needed some time alone to process everything. I watched him drive away, and I felt like I had just shattered his world. When I got home that night, I found my mom sitting at the kitchen table, looking like she'd been crying for hours. I told her that I'd told Dad everything. She looked devastated, but she didn't yell or get angry. She just nodded, like she knew it was inevitable. I asked her what she was going to do, and she said she didn't know. She kept saying she was sorry, but at that point, I didn't want to hear it. I was too angry, too hurt. The next few days were a blur. My dad moved out and is staying with a friend while he figures out what to do. He hasn't spoken to my mom since I told him, and I can't blame him. I've barely spoken to her myself. Tyler has been texting and calling me non-stop, but I haven't responded. I don't even know what to say to him. Part of me wants to confront him again, to scream at him for what he's done, but another part of me just wants to cut him out of my life completely. I'm still trying to figure out what the hell to do next. My family is in pieces, and I don't know if it can ever be put back together. My mom is pregnant with my best friend's child, and I'm not sure how I'm supposed to deal with that. I don't know if I can forgive her, or if I even want to. Thank you, guys, for being there for me. I'll keep you updated as things progress, but right now, I'm just trying to take it one day at a time. Update 2. Hi, I'm back with another update. I wish I could say things have gotten better, but honestly, they've just gotten more complicated. The fallout from everything is still affecting my family, and I'm not sure how much longer I can keep holding on. Since my last update, my dad has officially filed for divorce. He told me that he couldn't stay in a marriage after such a deep betrayal. I'm not surprised, but it still hurts to see our family being torn apart like this. He's been staying with a close friend, but I can tell that he's struggling. I've been doing my best to support him, but there's only so much I can do. As for my mom, she's been an emotional wreck. She keeps trying to reach out to me, but I've been keeping my distance. Every time I talk to her, all I can think about is how she betrayed us both. I just can't get past it. She's still planning to keep the baby, and she's made it clear that she wants to be with Tyler, despite knowing that he doesn't feel the same way. Tyler and I haven't spoken since our fight. He's tried reaching out a few times, but I haven't responded. I can't bring myself to face him after everything that's happened. It's like the person I thought was my best friend doesn't exist anymore, and I'm grieving that loss as much as I'm grieving the loss of my family as I knew it. And then, just when I thought things couldn't get more complicated, my mom called me a few days ago, sounding frantic. She told me that Tyler has disappeared. He's not answering her calls or texts, and she doesn't know where he is. She's terrified that he's going to bail on her and the baby, leaving her to raise the child alone. Part of me wanted to say, "What did you expect?" But I didn't have the heart. She's already so broken, and even though I'm furious with her, I can't help but feel sorry for her too. My mom begged me to help her find Tyler, but I refused. I told her that I'm done being involved in this mess, that she needs to figure it out on her own. I know that sounds harsh, but I'm at my breaking point. I can't keep trying to fix things for everyone else when I'm barely holding it together myself. I've made the decision to cut contact with my mom for the time being. I know it's drastic, but I need to protect myself. Every time I talk to her, it just reopens the wound, and I can't keep living like this. I told her that I need space, that I'll be in touch when I'm ready, but right now, I need time to heal. As for Tyler, I don't know what he's going to do. He's never been the type to handle responsibility well, and I have a feeling he's going to run from this situation. If he does, my mom will be left to raise this baby alone, and I don't know how she's going to handle that. But as harsh as it sounds, that's not my problem anymore. Right now, I'm focusing on rebuilding my own life. I'm trying to get back into a routine, spending time with my dad, and seeing a therapist regularly. I'm still angry, still hurt, but I'm trying to take it one day at a time. I'm hoping that with time, I'll be able to find some peace, even if it feels impossible right now. Thank you, Reddit, for all your support and advice. It's been a lifeline for me during this nightmare, and I'm grateful for this community. I'll keep you updated if anything major happens, but for now, I'm just trying to take care of myself and heal from everything that's happened. Update 3. Hi again, everyone. The last few months have been a whirlwind of emotions, and I've had to make some really tough decisions, but I think I'm finally starting to find some closure, or at least as much closure as I can get from a situation like this. My mom gave birth to a baby boy last month. I wasn't there for the birth, and honestly, I've had no contact with her since I told her I needed space. She's tried reaching out a few times, but I've stayed firm in my decision to cut contact for now. I'm not ready to be involved in her life again, and I don't know if I ever will be. As for Tyler, he completely disappeared. After my mom told me he was missing, I didn't hear anything else about him until recently. Apparently, he moved out of state, leaving my mom to raise the baby on her own. She's devastated, of course, but I can't say I'm surprised. Tyler was never the type to stick around when things got tough, and I guess this was no different. My dad is doing better, but he's still hurting. The divorce is moving forward, and while it's been hard on him, I think he's starting to come to terms with everything. We've been spending a lot of time together, and I'm grateful that we have each other to lean on during this mess. As for me, I'm still in therapy, still working through all the emotions this situation has brought up. It's been a long road, and I know it's not over yet, but I'm starting to feel like I can breathe again. I'm trying to focus on my own life, my own happiness, and letting go of the anger and pain that's been weighing me down. I don't know what the future holds for my relationship with my mom or Tyler, but for now, I'm focusing on myself. Maybe one day I'll be able to forgive them, but right now, I'm not there yet. And that's okay. Healing takes time, and I'm giving myself the space I need to do that. Thank you, Reddit, for being there for me through all of this. Your support, advice, and even your tough love have helped me more than you know. I'm not sure what's next, but I'm hopeful that with time, I'll be able to move on and find peace.